Hi everybody, my name is Maddie or A Cotton Sock, and welcome to a special sort of video. Today is going to be a comprehensive when I move my families from town to town in The Sims 3, what I do afterwards, what is my process immediately after I move a family, and what better way to show this off than with my Sims 3 Star World Legacy family, who I've been playing for a minute here. I have a whole entire playlist cataloging the entire challenge, but just in case if you are unfamiliar, this was a challenge created by Florida, and we have played all the way down now until Lucky Palms, and in the last episode we moved to Sunlit Tides. This video won't require you to understand any of the inner family workings or anything like that, but just in case you want to see it, there you go. We got mom and dad Adrian and Tony, and we have our current heir Harper, her twin sister, or I guess her triplet sister Fawn, and then her triplet brother Jordy, and then the parents had a interesting child. They were swinging, long story short, and Adrian ended up getting pregnant. Don't worry about that. But anyway, this is a brand new save file. This is in the Sims 3 Star World Sunlit Tides as a challenge goes, and we're gonna go ahead and set up this world so that in the next episode I can go and play and just start the challenge off and it will be all ready. Now, the problem I am immediately going to address with this town, not a problem necessarily, but it is a heavily themed world. I mean, just look at the builds of this world. They're very island. They all kind of have this sort of look to them, and I'm going to acknowledge that the lots that I have saved in my bin that I would normally place down, so this is things like the Lucky Simoleon Casino, just for some fun, also because we do need it, because I didn't end up finishing our last heirs all of the requirements before we move to Sunlit Tides. I am going to just acknowledge that the builds are gonna kind of stick out like a sore thumb in some places. I actually think the Simoleon Casino could potentially work. Another problem I'm seeing, oh, that's actually not that much of a problem at all. This world is much bigger than I had anticipated, especially for it being kind of a island sort of thing where they're all not connected necessarily. Like we have the islands over here, then we have like a little, you know, there's some water in between. I guess there's not really any lots. I don't know if in the grand scheme of Sims 3 if this came out before or after Island Paradise. Doesn't really matter because I play with Island Paradise regardless. So if we do end up, I don't know, placing a lot down over on this little island over here, my Sims can get to it by boat. It's not really that big of a deal. So with that said, I am going to find a lot, because immediately the first thing I need to do, and the first thing I will normally do when I set up a new world, so now we're kind of talking more broadly about how does A Cotton Sock set up a new Sims 3 world, I will always put down some public lots that I know the world needs. So this is things like I can't talk and try and scroll through these lots at the same time. It's like my brain doesn't work. Yeah, I'll put down the Lucky Simoleon Casino. We'll just plop it down right there in this nice little area that doesn't have many things near it, I guess. Now, I do want to say that it is interesting that this giant casino is going to be kind of at a dead end. I actually think this casino works really, really well in this world, because we kind of lucked out on this build, and EA put down like octopus and a really nice pool and like palm trees, so it kind of actually works really well with the world. It's kind of themed in that regard. One thing I will address quickly in here, I'm just going to load into the lot, is there does need to be some grass. Does it look weird with sand there? I don't know. I feel like they would have artificial grass at this bougie casino. So yeah, if you don't know, this was a part of Lucky Palms in the Sims 3 Store World. That's where this lot comes from. Did I say Sims 3 Store World? I meant the Sims 3 Store. Sorry, I'm trying to like do multiple things and my mouth doesn't want to cooperate with my brain. All right, we're gonna just put down some of this stuff. And this was a semi renovated lot. So if we look inside here, I actually added this little banquet hall or party area with some of the objects from different expansion packs. So for example, professional bars. This is all stuff I do before I placed on lots. So, you know, if we're talking again more broadly, what does A Cotton Sock do to the lots before she puts them down? Well, one of the things is I always add professional bars, and I always add things from the various Sims 3 packs that would probably be in here. So things like the late night piano and the late night cello, or bass. Sorry, it's not a cello. And we have a dartboard. Couldn't think of the word dartboard. And we have a professional bar and things like that. So actually, I think I'm gonna delete these paintings because I know that the Sims 3 Late Night comes with a really nice neon sign sort of situation, and it looks really pretty. So we're gonna just pop, I mean, they're kind of small for the space, so I'm being honest with you. Ooh, the fish though. The fish in an island themed world, I feel like is quite accurate. I do wish they were a little bit bigger. They're kind of small for this giant wall. Now, I also do want to draw attention to the fact that you can go as crazy or as not crazy as you want when placing down community lots. I have a lot of things to do in my life. I'm a college student. I also do YouTube content creation. I'm trying to write a book. So I got a lot of stuff to do. You can renovate your public lots as much as you want. I just do the bare minimum because I can't spend all day renovating lots. But there's the first lot I would place down. So technically I would probably scroll through and just see the other ones. We have Vark's Tavern, which is a werewolf bar. We have some festival grounds. I actually don't know if this world has a festival ground, so might be good to check into that. I have a Grandma's Tavern and Cafe, which I made, which uses the Sims 3 store like restaurant set. So things like this. You have a watering hole. I have a bowling place, which is really nice. I don't know where I would place these down. Again, they're gonna stick out like a sore thumb because, as I mentioned, the architecture in this world is very island themed. And so when I place these down, it's gonna look very, what is that word I'm looking for? Gentrified. That is the correct word. I had to pause the recording and look up the word I was thinking of. Gentrified. So just be aware of that. Again, go as crazy or not crazy as you want, but I'm just gonna place down for now the Lucky Sumo Casino. Maybe they'll come back and we'll do some more renos later. Okay, now also between each generation, I just want to mention I do have story progression and NROS mods turned off when I am doing this preliminary stuff. No, Ronaldo, I'm not coming over. So that's something to also keep in mind. My game will run really smooth because I don't have any of those mods enabled. And also, I do have my graphics and my sounds. I'll just kind of click through these so you can take a look at them. A lot of people want to know what my lifespan is. I'll have the lifespan already set up, all that kind of stuff. And here's everything else in case you want to see. I do have vampires and all the other supernaturals, horses, pets, all that stuff currently turned on. And here, oh, this brings us to our next point. Okay, so the weather. Obviously, this is a giant island world. There's not gonna be snow. I mean, maybe in your game there would be, but for ACOTtonSock's game, girl, there's no snow. There's just no snow. It's not gonna snow in this world. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to the city hall, and I think this is a good time to enable my NROS mods because what we're about to do is going to overwrite whatever NROS mod settings I have in there. So the first thing I want to do, I'm gonna leave this file in the description box below in case you want to download ACOTtonSock's current, as of the day I'm recording this, September 19th 2025. These are my current settings for all my NROS mods, and I'm just gonna go and grab that and place it, pop it right in there using NROS Overwatch, which is going to import everything. If you don't know what NROS does, I have so many videos talking about every single one of these mods. Oh, and I should also mention, I did move the family to this town using NROS Porter, but that was in the last episode, so I didn't think to mention that. This is just going to be how I'm doing things when we get to the actual world. After I import all my settings, and we have to import the settings first because when we go into NROS Tempest, which is how I'm going to replicate the fact that it would not snow in this world, it is going to overwrite that. So we're going to go down to weather in Tempest, and this is kind of tedious how you have to do this. You have to, oops, sorry, I hit my mic. You have to first go through every one of the seasons and make sure you're enabling the correct climate. So I have a file from a creator named Buckley who went through every single, I think it's from Buckley, went through every single Sims 3 world and kind of replicated environment or climate that is equivalent to that in real life. And what this file does, the long and short of it, is it sets the extreme lows and the extreme highs of the weather. It does some other things too, but that's just a short version of it. So I'm gonna go to sunlit tides here, and do we see how the ones that are disabled have the parentheses around them? The ones that are currently enabled, so because I just moved from Lucky Palms, this is going to be set to true if we click this in here. So if we set that to false now, and then we go back to our main master list here, we want to make sure we're setting sunlit tides to true, which enacts that climate that Buckley set up wherever they think is a comparable place in real life. The climate will now be replicated in the game, if that makes sense. So we're going to go through all of these seasons. Again, this is kind of tedious because you got to disable the one that you were currently using and then go in and enable the correct one. But you can easily see that change because the parentheses will be gone. I don't know what 1 ratio 7 means. I think that might be, oh, that's the range of days. So from day 1 to day 7, that's how long the season will be. And again, NROS Tempest is a really powerful mod. You can actually dynamically change how many days will be sunny, foggy, and rainy, and all that sort of stuff. Here's those temperature highs and lows. These are in Fahrenheit. I don't know if they adjust if you're in Celsius, but there's that. So we're gonna go now to summer, and we're gonna disable the Lucky Palms one because we are no longer living there, and we're gonna enable the sunlit tides one. And last but not least, we have winter. Winter is probably gonna be the most important one for me because I don't want snow in this world. Although Lucky Palms, which is the climate I literally just had enabled, doesn't get snow because it's a desert, so it doesn't probably matter too much anyway. So now we have the custom climate enabled, which is amazing. At this current moment, I am going to disable story progression just because I'm doing setup stuff, so I don't want that to be on right now. And I already saw someone in town getting hot and heavy with their partner, so that's lovely. All right, now what I do, the next thing I'll do once I have story progression and all my settings enabled, well, first of all, I'm going to save the game because I just did a lot of renovations, and not renovations, a lot of changes that I want to save. This is the part where I will now go house hunting. So I'll go to edit town, just continue, and I'll take a little look-see at all of the empty houses around town. Because I use NROS Porter to move this family from town to town, and again, if you don't have any idea what that means, it's just a method in which a mod, an NROS mod, that allows you to move from town to town in a really clean way that preserves all your family relations and inventory items and things like that, and doesn't have you lose any data, but still makes your save file so it won't bloat crazily. It's just a way to do that, and I have a whole video explaining how to do that and the ins and outs in NROS Porter versus NROS Traveler, which are two different mods you can move from town to town with. So go check that out because I'm not going to be covering that in this video. I actually really like this house. It's one of the most beautiful Sims 3 EA builds I've ever seen, and that's a huge statement. But look at this house. They did really well. Of course, it suffers from that issue with the corridors where EA doesn't know what to do with them. So they make these really, really long, huge corridors, and they're just empty. They're really, really empty. I'm going to continue my real estate hunting, my real estate search. Obviously, if you have a house that you have from another world, or I don't know, a place you want to place down, this is probably something you can skip. But I really like to live in the pre-made houses just so we can get the full Sims 3 world experience. I'm also going to delete any cars I see. It's just unnecessary. Now, my family, I've been playing them for a really long time, so money's not an issue at this point. We just accrued so much generational wealth that any money we have, this is a really nice place too. I love this open air gym on the top floor. That is just so beautiful. And I do have a thing I do where every episode of this challenge we play, I will renovate one room. And that's kind of just my way of tackling house renovations, like improving the EA lots without taking a big chunk of my time doing it off camera. Oh, this is a nice one too. There's a lot of really nice houses. I should probably check how many Sims we're looking for. I can't remember how many Sims I have. I have 2 parents and I have 2 girls, and Jordy will be moved out, and I'm gonna move him out with his boyfriend. That's something I should probably do right now. We'll have them live together. Jordy, he's not a Sim. Oh, he's taking like all of our money. That's not right. He's not a sim that I necessarily pay too much attention to, so we're gonna just move him out with his man and we're gonna call it a day because I don't really want to play with him anymore. No offense, Jordy. Listen, he'll be around the town. If you don't know what I'm doing right now, if you are splitting sims off from your sims' family and they're taking way too much money like my sim just was, if you go into NROS Mover and you go under the minimum money transferred setting, if whatever you set this to is how much that sim will take. So we want him to take 0 simoleons because he's going to be moving in with his man, so he doesn't necessarily need any money, and that is how we will split him off to move in with his boyfriend Marty Tanner. And we will just pop him over. As you can see, 0 simoleons, perfect. We don't want him to take any more than that. And let's see, where the heck is Marty even living? I don't even know. I'm gonna have to look for him. I guess his last name is Gilbert, like Elena Gilbert from Vampire Diaries, I guess. So here's the little house he is living in. I don't know what it looks like, but I hope you enjoy yourself. Have a good time living with your man. And this brings me to another point, is whatever sims I'm moving across towns with, I'll give them a little makeover as well. That's like something super important to me. It's making sure all my sims do not look crazy, especially because I am a storyteller via my sims as a conduit. Oh, he's a werewolf. I forgot he's a werewolf, right? We're gonna have to incorporate that into his look. So I'll quickly give a live makeover to Ronaldo, who is one of our sims' fiance. Sometimes I try to use the hairs that are from the world, but they can look a little crazy. Wow, look at this long hair. It's like windswept. It's kind of amazing. I love that. I think I want to give him a really shaggy look because he is a werewolf. I don't know, that seems kind of fun, but I don't know what hair I want to give him to accomplish that shaggy werewolf look. Maybe like this wolf cut would be really cool. It's literally, this hairstyle is literally called a wolf cut, or this one could be really cute. I like the long hair idea for him, so I think I'm gonna run with that. We're gonna just give him a super long hair. And for male sims, it usually takes me a lot shorter of a time than it does with my female sims. Dude, I could be here all day giving my female sims a makeover. It just takes me so long most of the time, because there's so many more aspects. Like, you got the makeup for female sims, the accessories. I just put 1,000 times more effort into my female sims' makeovers. No offense, male sims, but it is what it is. Also, should mention, because we're living in a hot climate, it will be hot year round, so I don't have to adjust their clothing according to the weather, which is something I try to do, but it is a lot sometimes because I do have so many sims that at moments it can be a little overwhelming to do all the sims makeovers. Now, because he's a werewolf, I have an idea in mind actually that I kind of wanted to give him. Something grungy, something like not tailored or anything like that. Something more casual is what I'm picturing for him. I don't feel like half my clothes are missing. Where did they all go? I'm noticing as a werewolf he has no body hair, which for the A Cotton Sock verse is not acceptable. If you're a werewolf, you have to have extreme amounts of body hair in your human form. I'm sorry, that's just, if you live in the A Cotton Sock universe, you have to acclimate to the A Cotton Sock rules. All right, I don't know why I'm talking third person so much, but I can't find a shirt for this guy. I'm just gonna go with something this lightning shirt. Sure sir. What is their favorite color? I try to match their favorite colors and their clothing because I think a sim would be wearing their favorite color. That just makes sense. I do wish one thing about The Sims 3 is in The Sims 4, you know how all clothing and I think items too are tagged with a specific color. So if a sim is in a room with their favorite color, I actually don't know if it has any bearing on their mood, but that's one thing I wish The Sims 3 had, is a tag for colors. So if your sim is wearing their favorite color, they could recognize that. I think that might be too forward thinking for a game made in 2009, but I can hope. I can wish and hope. So this is Fawn, one of our twins, one of the twin girls. This is her man, so that's why I'm spending so much time giving him a makeover, because we will be seeing him and potentially having her live with him. I don't actually know yet, but this is what we're gonna be doing. So I just did his everyday attire. I could also, let me show this off too, because this is a really helpful trick if you have a lot of Sims when you're moving to a new town that you have to give clothing to. I don't like to do outerwear because, well, first, oh, look at this house he lives in. Holy hell. First of all, the outerwear should be the same as their everyday wear because it's always hot here. It's never going to be cold. So outerwear really is a non-issue for us. So what I'll do is with NROS Master Controller, and potentially you need NROS Master Controller Cheats module. I don't actually know. One of those add-on mods might be required. We're going to go into basic, and then we're going to actually, sorry, it's under intermediate. We're going to go copy clothing between categories, and you want to do this with the sim that you are wanting to copy their clothes to their other category. So I'm going to copy his everyday that we just made up. We're going to click check on that, and we are going to copy that to his outerwear. But now look at this. If we go and change him into his outerwear, look, he's got two outerwears now. He's got this crazy one that I did not give him, and now he's got the one that is linked. It's not technically linked, it's just copied. It's just copy and pasted on the other outfit. But this is the one I desire. This is the one I want him to wear if it ever does get below a certain threshold and he swaps into his outerwear. So what we have to do now is remove that old outerwear. So first of all, he doesn't have two of them. And second of all, he defaults always to the second outerwear. So we'll remove outerwear 1, which will then, if we go and look at him now, finally, it will bump up the same cloned outfit from his everyday attire to his outerwear. So there's a little tip and trick you can do. Also, if you don't know, if you want to take a little look-see inside of a Sim's house, you can just click anywhere on the lot of the Sim that's not in your household and click open, and look at that. It gives me a unobstructed view of his entire house. Like, I can just take a little look at where he's living, which might be too fancy of a house for this single, I guess he's not single, but this one male Sim, like him occupying this entire house, is kind of crazy. Another thing is I see his map name when I moved them with NROS Porter. It messed it up, so I'm gonna just rename him to D1 because that is his last name and we don't want that to be all messed up. And I also don't know where they're living now. Oh, with the Rolly family, right? So we're living in this tiny 15 by 10 house. I feel like we should have swapped. We should be probably living in this mansion over here, and he shouldn't be in this house all by himself. I don't know, the housing, where it placed them, if you don't know how it works, the priority Sim always gets placed at whatever house you Porter unpack them at. So I guess I Porter unpacked them at this tiny little house, and then all the other Sims got dispersed into different places around the world. And again, I'm talking in specifics about how NROS Porter works, so if you don't understand the mod or don't care to, just ignore me. I'm gonna rename this household to Rolly because our son is now living there with his man. And there is that. So all of my Sims in my household, I've already given them the desired makeovers I want. That's probably honestly the first thing I would do. This is our heir for this generation. As you can see, gave her some accurate clothing to the climates around the world. And look, Marty's actually over here right now. He's hanging out at the super cute cafe here. His outfit is absolutely insane, so that's another Sim I'll have to go in change his clothing with. But I do want to move them into a new house. I don't know, I want to probably move them into the most expensive house in this world. This one is really beautiful, and it's huge, which I love. I love this open air gym on top that is actually really clever. And I don't build too much, but I need to keep that in the bank of my mind next time I do some building, because that is a really clever idea. Here's the other house that is potential. It looks like it has a little guest house out back here. Ooh, it's got a sauna. So this sauna is one of the Sims 3 store premium content items that comes with Sunlit Tides, so I like to see that they incorporated that into the build. It's got like a little shower sauna area. I guess this isn't really a shower. But then above it, it's got a guest house, which is nice because we're gonna be adult women living with our parents. So it might be kind of nice to have some sort of separation from them. This is a really nice place. I could totally imagine us having parties. I'm gonna delete this car as well because it's unnecessary. I could totally imagine having parties at this house, inviting the locals, all that kind of stuff. Seems really, really cute. Here is another single house. Actually, I'm gonna grab Ronaldo because it basically cheat unpacked him at that really expensive house. And because it did that, when he moves out eventually and sells that house, he's just gonna randomly have a bunch of money, which is not what I want. And I'm gonna just evict him. Sorry, Ronaldo. I know you thought you scored out on having like a super expensive bougie mansion. No, no, no. I'm gonna stick you in a little bungalow or something like that. Something a little bit more realistic. Yeah, like this. Like this. This is perfect for him. Yes. There you go. Hopefully, you know, you do well for yourself and you can move out. I do also want to see where it unpacked our son and his boyfriend, because I don't want them living in like a super expensive, although I do feel like his parents would probably just buy them their own little place because they're a partner. It doesn't look like that expensive of a house. We kind of got to we got to leverage our expectations with Sims that are just moving into this world. We don't want to give them, I mean, you can, I don't like to do that, where I give them like a super expensive house right off the rip if they don't have the money to do so. Let's just open this up again using that little NROS trick I talked about before. And yeah, this looks like a nice little place. I mean, it's not huge, but you know, our son would probably have some money. His parents would probably give him some money to move out with his boyfriend, because we're not struggling for simoleons, as you can probably tell. So I'm gonna make it. Ooh, let's look at this one too. This is one of the original ones I looked at. I think this is actually the first house I looked at, and this has a really nice spot on the water over here, which is amazing. I really like that. And this has that guest house next to it as well, which could be really good. So the parents can have the main house, and then our heir can have her own little space off to the side. She's even got her own kitchen, her own TV. Does she have a bathroom? Oh yeah, she has a bathroom down here. Okay, well, I like this one too. And what would be even cooler, and I'm gonna just add this, even if we don't end up using this lot, I want to add the Island Paradise, the whatever this is called, the bar, the in-water bar type of thing. This is so beautiful. I absolutely love this object. When I can actually get it to line up and work properly in the layout of the house, if this would snap, that would be fantastic. I think it has to be, why is this not snapping? Must be against wall. Please don't do this to me. I just fought with this stupid bar for like 5 minutes. Finally got there at the end. Anyway, let's grab some of this pattern and just pop it on under here so it doesn't look... Oh, I don't want to put it in the pool. Whoops. Just want to put it underneath the bar. And there was also space down here for one, but I'm not going to do two because that's just a little bit extra. I don't want to be too extra. I like being extra, but not that extra. And maybe also, oh, we can add a bonfire down here. I think Uni came with some nice bonfire furniture and also a giant bonfire that we can pop down at the end of this walkway, and have a little outdoor nice nighttime fire or something like that. I don't know. I just realized this house I've been looking at for like the past hour is way over our budget, so I'm gonna delete these cars, of course, because those are probably taking up quite a substantial amount. And look at that, we're already under budget. Before I move my family in too, I want to add some by Debug lights, because those are simply the best solution to lighting up large areas without obstructing the view for y'all watching at home. So we're just gonna pop some of these in each room. I guess I'll keep like the regular lighting too, just for the ambience. One thing I do see here is this kitchen's gonna have to change. Not in love with the kitchen. I actually think the dining room is quite nice. Although I don't know why we're putting carpet in a dining room. That just seems a little silly if you're asking me. I'm gonna put down some custom wood patterns that I have here. I think it'll actually look really nice in this house. It definitely improves the visual, makes it look a lot more fresh. So we're gonna just carry through each of the rooms with this new wood swatch because I think it looks quite nice. And in the guest house, I might put a different wood down just to kind of separate that they are two different spaces here. So here we go. Okay, now I think we're good to move in with our family. So I'm actually just gonna move them by the phone. I don't like to move them via Edit Town. I don't know, it feels a little weird to move them via Edit Town. So we'll move them by the phone this time. It feels harsh if I had to put it in a word why I dislike it. It feels abrupt, maybe it would be a better word. It feels like I'm kind of just playing God and moving them. I think this is it, right? Semi-tropical abode. Wait, no, that's not it. It has the, oh God, why didn't I take a look at whatever the name was? Why did I do that? I'm just so dense sometimes. All right, I have the name of it now. It is called the Beach House, which is kind of, oh, we got the portal too. It's kind of like a default name. I feel like every house in this neighborhood is a beach house, you know? But it's like across the map, which is interesting. This is surprisingly, for it being an island world, I feel like it's huge. Like this place is freaking gigantic. Oh, we got our portal too. Where is it at? Over here. Oh, something I did want to also talk about is sometimes I will renovate the already existing in-world lots. So for example, earlier I was talking about how I have a cafe. It's called like Grandma's Cafe or something like that. And that is created to work well in whatever world I stole that build from. I think it was Hidden Lakes. Is that what that world's called? Hidden Springs. Hidden Springs. Sorry, I was thinking Three Lakes from Sims 2. No, Hidden Springs is where I stole that build from. That isn't gonna look the same as a build would here in Sunlit Tides. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll just grab one of these lots. Like this hotspot lot seems pretty nice. I like the architecture and it has a cool vibe, but there's like nothing to do, you know? There's not much going on here. I'll hone in on one of these lots that's in the world that I already like, and I'll just improve it and add some of the Sims 3 store world objects. Like this is another really cute lot, but it's got a bunch of chairs for sitting down. There's not much going on. That's one of the things I do tend to do as well. I love the architecture of this world. I'm just like obsessed with looking at everything and seeing all these rabbit holes because they are obviously made to look like they belong in the world, which is a significant change because in the other world sometimes they reuse the rabbit hole exteriors. Oh, we're already pouring juice, are we? We literally just moved in here, Adrian, and you're already pouring some juice. Oh, the girl's already breaking in the pool as well. Already floating. I love that. That is such a vibe. Look at her just enjoying herself, enjoying her new island life. It looks like my Sims are also took their cars when they moved, which is really cool. And sadly, they never went to graduation, so we'll never know like what ribbons they got or whatever. I moved them too quickly before. Oh, she has like a bunch of stuff in her inventory. I should probably put that in the fridge, like eggs and things like that. So we'll store all our harvestables and also this deep fried bacon thing. I should add some of the accessories, like the appliances, like the ice cream machine. Oh yes. And also the deep fryer. Oh yes, we definitely need those. One thing oh, the Rollies are serious home chefs and I've completed. Oh, I forgot you get this little opportunity if you buy both the ice cream maker and the deep fryer. It gives you some extra points, so that's cute. It's not really that much. Oh, and the baby just learned how to talk. So yeah, we will have to do some reno in this house. It doesn't exactly fit our needs. We need a baby room. I love all the extra spaces though. It's very nice. Look at her pouring herself some juice. Yeah, this is a super pretty house. I'm like really excited to play in it. We have a sauna back here. We got a ton of stuff. She's talking about the bookstore with her dad. It's crazy that she's the same age. I guess not the same age, but they're both adults, which is insane to think about. Oh, she wants to join the medical career. Her job carried over, so I don't know why she wants to join the medical career. Anyways, I think that's all I really wanted to cover in this how I set up towns video. I should also append here that I do Regal save cleaners whenever I need to. I don't start the world with a Regal save cleaner, or Alternatively, you could also do a total town reset. I do them as needed. Oh, we had a script error when I tried to click on master controller. That was weird. I do reset everything's whenever as needed, basically. I don't start the world in one. I don't know the lag in this world, if it's bearable, if it's gonna be bad. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. I know Island Paradise is a huge map as well, but your Sims access it by boats, like the different little islands. This is all kind of one continuous strip of land. Here's the military base. That's kind of cool. It's got like little barracks. It's very simple. I love that they redid all of the rabbit holes in this world to look like they belong. I know I keep saying that, but they're really pretty. Oh, is he talking? Wow, Daniel Pleasant! Oh my goodness, I forgot the Pleasants are in this town. Wow, okay. He's talking to Daniel as he's like sitting on the bench. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm gonna end this short video here. A lot of technical things, but I hope you get something out of it. And yeah, this is how I would set up a family in a brand new world. This is all the things I would do. And last but not least, we do have to enable story progression back on, so I don't forget when we go ahead and play in the next episode and we actually get into playing in the world. It's gonna be quite important. Are the waves floating? It's like the tide. Did anyone else see that? It looked like the tide was floating. I don't know, maybe I'm hallucinating, but I swear, yeah, this tide here, it's like not, I guess when you go further away, I think it might just be like a visual effect. I don't think it actually has. Yeah, look at that. It's floating above the water. EA, are you kidding me? Why did you not make the tide flat with the water texture? What? Why would they do that? I don't know. Anyway, I will catch you on the next episode. I hope you did enjoy, and I can't wait to play in Sunlit Tides. Peace out.